Welcome back, dear students, for today's objective needs session. In the previous session, we were discussing about level 2 questions. Alright, so that was part 2. In today's session, we are going to discuss about part 3, all right, continuation of level 2. All right, so we are continuing with now part 3. All right, so here the question we have is, which of the following phylum is devoid of tissue? Dear students, let us understand what do we mean by devoid. See here, devoid indicates absence. All right, if there is absence of tissue, all right, then though that phylum is which one we need to identify here. Okay, let us understand all the phylums. Let us come from the fourth option. Firstly, we have arthropoda. See, arthropoda here, rather we can say these organisms are invertebrate organisms, and these arthropods have organ level of organization. All right, so they have hard exoskeletal body as well, through which they are very well recognized. Fine. Next, we have Annelida. When we are considering Annelida, they are also developed invertebrate phylum. Okay, so they are segmented organisms. Right, they also have organ grade of organization. All right, dear students, moving on, let us also understand about the Coelenterata. Here, Coelenterata are the organisms where we can find here, tissue level of organization. So, what do we mean by this tissue level of organization? See, these are multicellular organisms. These are primitive invertebrate phylums. It is not as well developed as annelid, arthropod, mollusk or echinoderms. That's why it is considered as a primitive, phylum. We already know that they also form coral reefs. Fine. These organisms have tissue level of organization. See, let me tell you, even these are multicellular organisms where cells organize to form the tissues, but tissues does not organize to form the organ. So we don't find here organ system grade or organ grade of organization. All right, so only we can find is tissue level. Fine. Moving on to the next, we have porifera. See, these organisms are referred to as pore bearing organisms. All right, or we can also refer them to as the sponges. All right, so let me tell you that these organisms are multicellular. Note the point, they are multicellular, but let me tell you, even though they are multicellular, they have cellular grade of organization. All right, so it's very important to note that in case of porifers or pore bearing organisms or sponges, we generally see that these organisms are multicellular, where cells do not organize to form the tissues. All right, so as the question which is given here is, which of the following phylum is devoid of tissue? All the given phylums are invertebrate phylums. Under that, the most primitive phylum, that is poriferans, even though they are multicellular, they show cellular grade of organization, they don't form tissue, they are devoid of tissue. So your answer is 1. Moving on to the next question, we have Veliger larva occurs in phylum. Okay, so we need to identify among the 4 given phylums, so which of the phylum shows indirect development having Veliger larva. Now let me tell you, dear students, Veliger larva is typical of certain mollusks, not all, but certain mollusks show typical larva. Alright. So that larva is called as Veliger larva. Alright. See, in what type of molluscans do we find this Veliger larva? Let me tell you, in marine snails. Firstly, note down, the marine snails have Veliger larva, and to go with that, even bivalves also show the Veliger larva. So dear students, let us also understand, about echinoderm, arthropod and cnidarian larva. So as we now came to know that Veliger larva is present in the mollusk, so directly we can go for the answer, that is option 1. But let us also understand about the other invertebrate phylums which I have given as options here. So in case of echinodermata, see, let us say for example we have starfish. Alright, starfish larva let us consider. Okay, so that is Bipinaria. Alright, note down these points because these type of questions can also appear. So the more deep solving you are going to do it, that will benefit you in immense manner. So I request everyone to please concentrate on other options as well. See here, in case of echinodermata, as I said you, in case of starfish we can find Bipinaria larva, or even see we can find many other, like for example we have Auricularia and so many other different larvae in echinoderms. But we generally don't find Veliger larva in case of echinoderms. See, in case of arthropods, they also show indirect development. That means they also have larval stages, where, see for example, they have Nauplius larva. Alright. So it is the first fundamental stage in almost all the crustaceans belonging to the invertebrate phylum. We call it to as the arthropods. So here note that Nauplius larva, is shown by crustaceans belonging to the invertebrate phylum Arthropoda. Alright dear students, see there is one more option which is mentioned here, that is about the cnidaria. Now cnidaria larva we call it to as planula. Alright. So the echinoderms, arthropods and the cnidarians, these three do not show the Veliger larva. The Veliger larva is shown by the molluscans. So go for option 1, that is phylum Mollusca shows Veliger larva. Level 2, 13th question we have here is 4-chambered heart is found in this homeotherm. See dear students, let me tell you that they are mentioning it as the homeotherm. So the organisms which are warm-blooded among the given options, one of the option has 4-chambered heart, one of the animal has 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. So we need to identify that. Okay. So easily how we can identify, let me tell you. So let us move with each option. First we have Testudo. So here when we consider this organism, it belongs to the phylum Chordata. First point to be noted. Here it's a, see, Testudo is a genus of, alright, tortoises. Alright. So now, see, these Testudo genus of tortoises can be present in North Africa, Western Africa, and also in Europe. Alright. So remember, these are chordates. Now moving on to the second option. See, second option we have is Psittacula. See, this Psittacula belongs to the class Aves. So we can say that it is a bird. Alright. So what type of, birds are included here? Alright. See, rose-ringed parakeets. Alright. Rose-ringed parakeets are Psittaculas. Alright. So remember that. So this is one more important aspect to note down. Alright. Now next we have the third option, that is Salamandra. Alright. So here it is a group of amphibians which includes salamanders. Alright. They have reptile like appearance. They have lizard like appearance. Alright. So anyway, but they are amphibians. They have dual life. They need water for their reproduction. Fine. So salamandra is a amphibian. Remember this point, dear students. Okay. So see, amphibian, or whether it is the other organisms we have discussed are, let it be the birds or amphibians or pisces, all they belong to the phylum Chordata. That's more important. Okay. Anyway, now we have the fourth option here, that is Betta. Alright. See, it is a Siamese fighting fish. Alright. So this is a fish which is popular in aquarium trade, dear students. Alright. So I have already told you about this fish. Okay. When this fish is kept with the other fishes, it may harm those fishes. So generally this fighting fish is generally kept in separate tank. Alright. So anyway, so now, so this is a fish, so it belongs to the superclass Pisces. Alright. So now let us understand. Okay. See, four aspects you understand. So Testudo, as I said you, it belongs to Chordata. Okay. Fine. It is a tortoise. Okay. Then we have Psittacula, which belongs to the Aves. Alright. Then we have Salamandra, which is an amphibian. Alright. Then we have Betta, which is belongs to Pisces, which is a fish. Alright. So now let us understand. In case of chordates, in fishes we have two-chambered heart. Alright. That is, now here Betta is a fish, so it has two-chambered heart. In amphibians and reptiles, we have three-chambered heart. Alright. So the salamandra is amphibian, so it has a three-chambered heart. And in case of birds and mammals, we have four-chambered heart. Alright. So now Psittacula is a bird, it has four-chambered heart. Alright. So Testudo, even though it is belongs to the phylum Chordata, it does not have It does not have it. These are the genus of tortoises. All right. So it does not have four-chambered heart. Okay. The only organism which has four-chambered heart with two auricles and two ventricles here is the option 2, that is Citracula. Please go for option 2. Pinctada belongs to the phylum. 4 options have been given here. Option 1, we have Echinodermata. Then we have option 2 as mollusca. To go with option 3, Annelida, and option 4 Aschelminthes. So now, dear students, see, let me tell you a few aspects about the Pinctada. Alright? See, it is a genus of saltwater oysters. Alright? It is present in the salt waters. Alright? Or we generally say it as saltwater oysters. Alright? So remember this first point. So when it is referred to as saltwater oysters, so it is obvious that they are present in the marine waters, in the sea. Okay, fine. They come under the family, all right, Pteriidae. They come under the family Pteriidae, so which has pearl oysters. So this family Pteriidae has pearl oysters. Alright. So now, considering Pinctada is a marine mollusk, so among the given options you go for option 2, that is mollusca. Space between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesoderm is called. Dear students, we have discussed this already, okay, with respect to phylum or the body cavity we have discussed. Fine. So here let me tell you the space which is present between the body wall of organism, the body's wall, and the alimentary canal, or you can also refer it to as gut. Okay. So between these two, you know, there is a space which is lined by the primary germ layer. We call it to as the mesoderm. Alright. So this is the middle layer. Fine. So on both the sides, on the body wall, alright, as well as the alimentary canal, mesoderm is present. Okay. It is lined by mesoderm and there is a space in between these two. So let us understand which of the following is that. Okay. So the first option which is given here is hemocoel. Alright. So in the question number 10, we had discussed about this. Okay, let me just remind you what we had discussed. See, hemocoel is the body cavity of the invertebrates, isn't it? I had told you this. It's the body cavity of invertebrate animals. Alright, few of the invertebrate animals containing the circulatory fluid. Then pseudocoel, I have already told you, it is not lined by mesoderm. Mesodermal lining is not present on the body wall and alimentary canal. So this cannot be the option. Then let us go for option 4, where we have blastocoel. So I have told you that blastocoel, or you can also refer it to as blastocyst cavity. Alright, dear students, see here, let me tell you, this blastocoel or blastocyst cavity is a fluid filled cavity that is present in blastula. Blastula is a embryo, 32 celled to 64 celled embryo. After the formation of zygote generally in case of higher organism undergoes the equational division or mitosis and forms the embryo called as blastula, and the blastula will have the blastocoel or blastocyst cavity. Fine, dear students. So now the only option which is left is phylum. Alright. So here let me tell you, the phylum is the correct option. So see, this is the space present between body wall and alimentary canal lined by mesoderm. So please go for option 3, that is phylum. Moving on to the next question, we have, which of the following animal is unsegmented? So please understand here, the body should not possess internally or externally any segments. That organism or organisms we need to identify from the given 4 options, dear students. So here the first option which is given is Pheretima postuma. See, this Pheretima postuma is earthworm. In general, in common, we call Pheretima postuma as earthworm. So it is a annelid. So we know that earthworm approximately has 100 to 120 segments in its body. Alright. So as it belongs to annelid, it is called as segmented worm. So without doubt, earthworm, alright, the organism which survives in soil, the organism which is referred to as the farmer's friend, because it helps in maintenance of the fertility of the soil, is, alright, a segmented organism. So this cannot be the option here. So next, let us move on to the second option. We have grasshopper. See, grasshopper is arthropod. Alright. So when I say arthropod, please understand they have hard exoskeleton. Alright. So we know that. And here in case of grasshopper, body is segmented into head, alright, thorax, alright, to go with the third, alright, that is abdomen. So the body is segmented into head, thorax and abdomen in case of grasshopper. So as it is arthropod, it is also segmented. Arthropods are segmented organisms as well. Okay, but the characteristic feature there is the presence of, alright, exoskeleton, the unique feature that is. Anyway, dear students, moving on to the next option, we have lobster. See, lobster is also arthropod. Alright. So here, let me tell you that these lobsters are large marine crustaceans, very large marine crustaceans, okay, so which are, what I can say, belong to the phylum arthropods. So they also have exoskeleton, alright. So the exoskeleton is in fact here rigid, that means it's very hard, alright, and it is also segmented. So we also find segmentation in lobster. So the only option now left is the fourth. Let us understand those organisms. Firstly, we have fasciola. See, dear students, let me tell you, fasciola is non-segmented flatworm. It does not have segments. Alright. It is a non-segmented flatworm. That means it belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes, isn't it? Dorso-ventrally flattened organisms are called as the flatworms which belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat. Helminth here indicates worm. So that's why it is called as flatworm. So this is non-segmented. So dear students, this fasciola generally lives in bile ducts. Alright. So it is a endoparasite. It lives in the bile ducts of wild and domestic mammals. Alright. Even in the case of humans as well, we can find this. Alright. So this is about fasciola. Next, under fourth option, we have the second organism, that is Dugacia. See, let me tell you that Dugacia is also a flatworm. Alright. See, it is a freshwater flatworm. Alright, and it is also unsegmented. Let me tell you, flatworms in themselves are unsegmented organisms. So, fasciola is unsegmented, Dugacia is unsegmented. As a whole, they have given also as flatworms. So, flatworms as a whole, they are all the organisms which are flatworms, which belong to the phylum Platyhelminthes, are in fact unsegmented in their body, okay, externally as well as internally. So please go for option 4. The right answer is fasciola, Dugacia and flatworms. The next question we have here is, most poisonous fish is. Alright, see, 4 options have been given, and no, we have to select among the 4 which is the most poisonous fish. In fact, let me tell you that here we have a fish which is most poisonous, is puffer fish, okay, so which every one of us know. Alright, see, why it is the most poisonous fish, let us understand. Okay, first let us understand about puffer fish, which is the answer for this question, but also understand about the other fishes as well. Okay, see, this is the most poisonous fish because it has tetrodotoxin, alright, in them. Alright, almost all puffer fish will have tetrodotoxin. See, this tetrodotoxin makes them foul tasting. Because of this foul taste, often they can be lethal to the other fishes. If the fishes come and attack these fishes, if they try to eat this fish, puffer fish, it can definitely lead to the death of that particular fish. So that's where I am using the word lethal. Very lethal it can be. Alright, dear students, let us also understand this tetrodotoxin, how much deadly it can be to the humans. See, as tetrodotoxin is 1200 times more poisonous than cyanide. See, already we know that cyanide is a very poisonous, substance. When we compare that with tetrodotoxin, alright, it's nothing in front of tetrodotoxin, because tetrodotoxin is 1200 times more poisonous than cyanide. It's unimaginable, okay, how much poisonous the puffer fish can be by having the tetrodotoxin. Alright, see, let me tell you, there is so much toxin in a just single puffer fish that it can kill 30 adult human beings. Alright, and let me tell you, there is no known antidote or treatment available for the tetrodotoxin. Alright, so it can definitely be lethal to the humans as well. So let me tell you that without doubt puffer fish is the most poisonous here. Alright, see, when we consider the clownfish, let me tell you, the clownfish tentacles are very poisonous. Alright, they are poisonous, but they are not as poisonous as the tetrodotoxin. Alright, then moving to the eelfish. See, eelfish blood is poisonous. All right. Dear students, because the eelfish blood is poisonous, let me tell you, it discourages many of the other creatures. All right, either the aquatic or even the other creatures which consume, which try to consume them. All right, completely discourages them. So a small amount of eel blood can definitely kill a person. Now you can say it is also deadly, but not as deadly as tetrodotoxin of puffer fish. So this option cannot be considered. Next, let us go for the next option, that is swordfish. See, in fact, this fish is classified as oily fish, but let me tell you, they contain very high levels of mercury. Because of the presence of high levels of mercury, they are toxic when consumed. All right, so fine. So but not as, mercury is not as toxic or as poisonous as tetrodotoxin of puffer fish. So dear students, without any hesitation, please go for option 4, that is puffer fish. Moving to level 2 18th question. 4-chambered heart is a characteristic of Poikilotherm. Okay, the options given are Psittacula, Hemidactylus, Pteropus and Crocodylus. So here, dear students, let us understand, they have asked the 4-chamber heart is a characteristic of which Poikilotherm. So Poikilotherm here refers to cold-blooded animals. All right, so first you understand that. Okay, so now 4 options have been given. First option is Psittacula. So here we know that Psittacula are the group of rose-ringed parakeets. They are rose-ringed parakeets. All right. Okay, so here they are homeotherms. They are not, they are homeotherms. They are not Poikilotherms. So even though they see the Psittacula, the rose-ringed parakeets have 4-chambered heart, but let me tell you, they are homeotherms. So we need Poikilotherm here. All right, so as they are homeotherms, so this option cannot be considered. Next, dear students, let us move on to Hemidactylus. Here Hemidactylus is also a homeotherm. It is not a Poikilotherm. All right, so Hemidactylus is a genus of common gecko family. Lizards are included here. All right, so as it is a homeotherm, we cannot consider this option, and moreover this also it cannot be considered because it has 3-chambered heart. All right, so we need a Poikilotherm with a 4-chambered heart. So option 2 is also eliminated. Then moving on to Pteropus. See, Pteropus is also homeotherm. So it is a warm-blooded animal. All right, so where we can see that as it is not Poikilotherm, we cannot go for this option. All right, and let me tell you, Hemidactylus is generally called as flying fox. It's a mammal. All right, so eliminate this option as well. Okay, so next, moving on to the next 4th option, we have Crocodylus. So here this is the only reptile, all right, which has 4-chambered heart, all right, and it is the Poikilotherm, all right. So it is the cold-blooded animal. It changes its body temperature according to the surroundings where it lives. So fine, dear students, Cetacula, Hemidactylus and Pteropus, all these three are homeotherms. See, there itself we can eliminate them, all right. Crocodilus is a Poikilotherm having 4-chambered heart. It's the only reptile with 4-chambered heart. Okay, so please go for option 4. Dear students, let us move on to the next question. The animal having notochord throughout its life is, see, we know that notochord is the solid and rigid supporting structure, all right, which is in fact present with respect to the chordates, all right, dear students. So now we need to identify among the given 4 options, only notochord should be present from the beginning to the end of life. Okay, that's where we use the term throughout life. So the answer is Amphioxus, all right. See, Amphioxus is also called as lancelet, right. And here let me tell you, this is a member of invertebrate subphylum called Cephalochordata, all right. So I have in the previous classes I have told you about the classification of chordata, all right. So under Cephalochordata, which is a subphylum, the Amphioxus or the lancelet is included. And okay, let us also understand that animals which possess, all right, or animals having notochord are referred to as chordates, which I told you. In some of the chordates, let me tell you, for example, here the options which are given, let us consider those. Say snakes, all right, then fishes, all right, and also birds. The notochord is replaced by vertebral column, all right. It is not present throughout the life, because in these chordates, that is snakes, fishes and birds, the notochord is replaced by the vertebral column. So that's why we are not selecting those 3 options. In case of Amphioxus, it is present throughout the life, all right. So please go for option 2, that is Amphioxus. Aptenodytes belongs to the class, okay. So we need to identify among the 4 given options, all right, to which class does Aptenodytes belong to, all right. Actually, if I want to tell you, see here, only 2 classes have been given. One is Reptilia and Aves, all right. Kingdom Animalia, it is not a class, it is a kingdom. Chordata is a phylum. Fine. So option 2 and option 3 easily we can eliminate. So among 2 options now, that is Reptilia and Aves, either one of them the Aptenodytes should belong to. Okay, let us understand what are Aptenodytes now. See, Aptenodytes are Aves, all right. They belong to the class Aves. So where the animals called birds are included, all right, dear students. So see here in this, Aptenodyte, it is a genus actually, all right. So where we can find large penguins, all right, very large penguins, and without doubt we know that penguins are birds, all right, dear students. See here, it also includes Aptenodytes, which is a genus, also includes king penguin, alright, and it also includes the emperor penguin, alright. So remember, so these two bigger penguins, that is king and emperor penguins, are also included in Aptenodytes, but that is irrelevant. But what is important is Aptenodytes are aves, alright, having penguins in them. So it is a genus having penguins. So please go for option 4, that is aves. Moving on to the next question, we have lancelet is the member of. See, dear student, first of all, let me tell you that lancelet is also referred to as Amphioxus, alright. This we know now, alright. And see, these lancelets or Amphioxus, this type of organisms are around, we can find 30 to 35 species of Amphioxus or lancelets. And let me tell you, they are benthic fish-like animals. They are benthic fish-like animals, alright, or primitive chordates. They are primitive chordates. That means they are not, considered as the higher chordates. Still, many chordate characteristics completely are not present in lancelet, but still, we consider them as primitive chordates. Benthic animals, I said. So what do we mean by this? See, it is the lowest level of the water body. That means bottom dwelling animals these lancelets or Amphioxus are. See, in the bottom of ocean or lake, or even in the case of stream, we can find these organisms. They generally tend to be very small and elongated, alright, elongated. They are present most of the time in the marine waters. And if I want to tell you, dear students, that these lancelets, in fact, do not possess jaws. Jaws are absent, or they lack jaws, alright. This is one point. And they also do not possess the sense organs, alright. So let me tell you, these lancelets are the modern representatives of the subphylum which comes under the chordate called as cephalochordates. So please go for the option 3. Ascidia belongs to which phylum? Alright. 4 options have been given. The option 1 we have here is Hemichordata, followed by Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and the last option as Chordata. Let us firstly understand, dear students, that Ascidia belongs to the genus of tunicates, alright. They belongs to the genus of tunicates, alright. So we can refer them to as tunicates, alright, which belong to the subphylum Tunicata. Tunicata is sometimes also represented as Urochordata. Remember, Tunicata is also certain times represented as what? Urochordata, alright. So now the question asked is, Ascidia belongs to which phylum? See, Tunicata is a subphylum, or Urochordata is a subphylum. As the same goes even for the Cephalochordata, which is also a subphylum. Only here 2 phylums are there. One is Hemichordata and another one is Chordata. Among these 2, the answer should be any one. Now let us understand. Here, Hemichordata, here it is actually, now it was a phylum which was considered as under the chordate, but now it is separated. It is considered as a non-vertebrate phylum. For example, see these organisms, we have Belanoglossus, the best example, where we can find, alright, notochord only in some part of the anterior body, that's all, alright, and not in the other portions. So this is not a true the chordate. So Ascidia is a true chordate, alright. So it belongs to the phylum, alright, chordata. So please go for the option 4, that is chordata. The next question we have is, the body is devoid of scales and paired fins in. See here, the scales as well as the paired fins are absent. So where do we find these type of organisms? Alright, see either in the cyclostomata, okay, class, which is class, alright, or in chondrichthyes, which is also a class, or osteichthyes, which is also a class. So or whether we don't find at all, so we need to identify. So here, dear students, let me tell you that all the living members of class cyclostomata are ectoparasites. See here, ecto means outside, right? So they attach to the surface or outside part of the body on some fishes. Alright. So let me tell you now few important aspects. So see here, how does the cyclostome, okay, let us say for example we have lamprey here, okay. The example which I am giving you here is lamprey, or we can also say it as petromyzon. See, its body looks as such, alright. Here, so they have an eye here, alright. So this is lamprey or petromyzon, the diagram which I have represented here, alright. Now let me tell you, dear students, that this is a cyclostome, alright. These cyclostomes are having sucking mouth, alright. They suck the nutrition from the fishes where they are attached as ectoparasites, first point. And they don't have jaws. Here jaws are completely absent, and as you can see in the structure in the diagram which I have represented here on the screen, their body is also devoid of scales. Scales are absent. Even see, as you can see, there are no paired fins here. Paired fins are also absent, but they have unpaired fins. Like how do we find paired fins? Like pectoral, pelvic, alright, in case of the chondrichthyes, that is a class, but here we don't find as such. Here we find unpaired fins, okay. The best example what I have given here is the lamprey, or as I said you, we can also say lamprey as petromyzon. So the organisms which are devoid of scales and paired fins are cyclostomes. They belong to the class cyclostomata, alright, remember. So please go for the option 1. Okay, see, chondrichthyes are cartilaginous fishes and osteichthyes are bony fishes. They have, see, the chondrichthyes have microscopic scales and osteichthyes have the scales which can be easily seen, okay. The placoid and the ctenoid scales they possess, which can be definitely considered. But let me tell you, the cyclostomes do not have. Paired fins are also present in chondrichthyes and osteichthyes, but absent in cyclostomes. So please go for option 1, that is cyclostomata. The next question is, read the following statements and find out the incorrect statement. See, dear students, 4 statements have been given here. So we need to identify the wrong statement or the incorrect statement among the given 4 options. So here let us understand each of the statement. Here let me tell you the first one, Doliolum. See, Doliolum is a tunicate. It is a tunicate. It belongs to the subphylum Tunicata or Urochordata under chordates. Alright, this is first aspect. And secondly, let me tell you, they are having one important character. Generally, the members belonging to tunicata or urochordata, they move via jet propulsion. Alright, like how the jet immediately, as soon as the engine starts, it moves. Alright, by propulsion. The similar manner these organisms also move. And let me tell you, this is the correct statement because here pharynx has perforated gill slits. Okay, so fine. So pharynx are perforated by gill slits here. So definitely, which helps in respiration in case of Doliolum. So please, don't select this option because it is a correct statement. We need to select the incorrect statement, dear students. Next, let us understand about saccoglossus. The statement given is heart is dorsal. See, saccoglossus are the aconworms. Alright, they belong to the phylum Hemichordata. Alright, let me tell you, dear students, that these saccoglossus, we can find the heart in the back of their body. That's generally heart is dorsal here. So that's correct statement which is given. Alright. Next, let us understand about Amphioxus. See, Amphioxus or lancelet, as we had discussed in the previous questions. Now we are well aware that it is also called as lancelet. Alright. They of course have a central nervous system which is hollow, and it is dorsal as well. It is present backwards of the body, but it is not double. Alright, so the given statement is wrong. So we need to identify the incorrect statement according to the question. So we have to go for third option, but also let us understand what is given in the fourth option. See, fourth option, mager is there. Alright, so it is generally called as walking catfish. Alright, so it is a species of freshwater fishes. And why they are called as walking catfish? Because they have the ability to walk and wiggle across dry land. They walk and wiggle across the dry land. Alright, why do they so? Because to find food or to find suitable environment for their stay, they need to walk and wiggle certain times on the dry land. So that ability these in fact fishes have. Alright, and moreover we need to understand that these fishes have heart which is ventral. Alright, and it is two chambered. So the only option which is wrong here is Amphioxus, where central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, but it is not double. So the given statement is wrong. So please go for option 3. Okay, next question we have here is, which sets of animals belong to the same taxonomic group? Alright, 4 options have been given. So we need to identify which of these groups belong to a same taxonomic group. Okay, let us understand each option here. Alright, see, bat. Alright, under the first option we have bat. Bat is a mammal, butterfly is arthropod, and birds are chordates. Alright, so birds belong to the phylum Chordata, butterfly belongs to the phylum, invertebrate phylum Arthropoda, bat belongs to the Chordata only, but it is a mammal. Alright, so that's one aspect. Secondly, let us understand monkey. Alright, monkey, man and chimpanzee. Actually these are 3 options. First is monkey, then man, and then chimpanzee. All these belong to phylum Chordata only. Okay, Chordata, and they belong to the class, alright, Mammalia, alright, and they also belong to the order primates, alright. So very much this is this might be the correct option, alright, because monkey, man and chimpanzee all belong to Chordata. They belong to same class Mammalia, they belong to same order primates. Okay, now next let us understand about the third one. Silkworm is arthropod, tapeworm is platyhelminthes or the flatworm, earthworm are segmented organisms belonging to the phylum Annelida. All three belong to different phylums. Silkworm to the arthropod, tapeworm to the platyhelminthes, earthworm to the annelid phylum. Fine. So this cannot be the option at all. Okay, they don't belong to the same taxonomic group. Next, cuttlefish. In the fourth option we have first is cuttlefish. They belong to mollusca. Silverfish belongs to arthropoda. Actually silverfish, it is an insect. Alright. Then jellyfish belongs to Cnidaria, dogfish belongs to Chordata, starfish belongs to Echinodermata. Here also all five given animals belong to different phylums. Alright, cuttlefish to the mollusca, silverfish to the arthropoda, jellyfish to the Cnidaria, dogfish to Chordata, and starfish to Echinodermata. The only group which belongs to the same taxonomic here group is, that is monkey, man and chimpanzee. So without doubt, please go for option 2. Dear students, moving on to the next question. Poison sting is found in the four options given. So we need to identify in which of these organisms do we find the poison sting. Here it is very clear that Pristis, Carcharodon as well as Torpedo and Trigon, the options which have been given, all these are chondrichthyes. Alright, or we can also say them to as cartilaginous fishes. Okay, so now let us understand each one of them. See, we know about chondrichthyes already. Chondrichthyes is a class under the superclass Pisces. Alright, they are generally marine. Okay, they are generally seen in the sea waters, and they are predaceous. When I say predaceous, please understand that they have the ability to catch and kill its prey and consume as its food. Their jaws are also very powerful. So these are few characters of chondrichthyes which we should know, dear students. Now let us understand each fish which is given. First, Pristis. See, the zoological name of Pristis is sawfish. Alright, this is one important aspect. Now secondly, Carcharodon is great white shark. So I am sorry, this is the common name. Okay, sawfish is the common name for Pristis. Carcharodon's common name is great white shark. Torpedo is generally regarded as electric ray. So note these three, alright, aspects. Pristis is also called sawfish, Carcharodon is also called great white shark, and trigon is referred to as electric ray. Now dear students, let me tell you that all these three fishes does not have poison sting. Poison sting is absent in all these three chondrichthyes fishes. Alright. So now we are left with the last option, that is trigon. See, trigon is referred commonly as stingray. See, from the word itself we can understand sting. It is saying sting. So it has in it the poison sting. This poison sting is used to stun the prey and also as defense against predators. Alright, it is used to stun the prey. Alright, and also it is used as defense against predators. Alright, two aspects, remember. Alright, so trigon is commonly called a stingray. It has the presence of poison sting. So please go for the option 4, that is trigon. That is your right answer.